Hi everyone, it's Jay. I wanted to do another video today. My last video I did was about safety tips with online dating. So I wanted to do another video along the dating um, lines, but I wanted to do more of like when you are seeing somebody early on. So I wanted to do a dating red flags video. So this video is just going to be a combination of some things that I've known from friends, some things that I've known from my personal life, some stories that I've heard. So it's just a couple of red flags to look out for when you are newly dating somebody. Um, a lot of times women have women's intuition, but they tend not to listen to it. Usually they'll talk themselves out of it. So a lot of times we as women, we can kind of sense when something's off, but either talking to our friends, talking to the guy that we're seeing, they kind of make us doubt that intuition that we have. And I will say a lot of times, if you do feel that something's off, it usually is. And if you do confront the guy that you're seeing about it and he says, oh, you're being crazy, you're being insecure, a lot of times he's trying to almost gaslight you because you know and he knows that something is not right and something's not on the up and up. And you're picking up on it, you're sensing it. So the best thing that you can do is always just trust your gut. But these are just a couple of other tips and things to look out for. So a big red flag to me is if a guy can never talk on the phone. And I know nowadays that everybody is big into texting. A lot of people don't really like to talk on the phone anymore. But if you are somebody who does like to talk on the phone and you ask the person that you're dating, hey, can we chat on the phone later, and even try to set up a time. So, maybe around 7, maybe after you get home from work, after you get home from the gym, can you give me a quick call? It doesn't have to be about anything important, but sometimes it is nice just to hear the person's voice rather than just communicate through texting. I am somebody who does prefer talking on the phone over texting. So it was always a big deal to me to make sure that somebody was able to speak to me on the phone. So I would definitely say, and it's not so much about them wanting to talk on the phone or not wanting to talk on the phone, but it's more so about, will they compromise and do something that makes you feel stronger, or feel a stronger connection to them in the relationship? Or will they just kind of stay in their ways and say, I'll text you later? Or it's worse if they say yes, that they will call you and then end up not calling you and sending you a text at that time. So I definitely think that that's a red flag if they can never talk on the phone. Even if you try to call them and they can never answer, but then they immediately will text, or they'll text shortly after, that's a red flag. Also along the lines of the phone, if the person that you're seeing never answers his phone in front of you, that's a red flag. If it's ringing constantly, buzzing, lighting up, you both see it, maybe he'll look at it, put it away, never picks it up, that's a red flag. A lot of times, you'll get a sense when a call there's something a little off, or there's something else that could be going on, just kind of by his body language. If he looks a little startled or a little nervous, or like I said, quickly looks at the phone and puts it away, that's a red flag. If he does decide to answer the phone and maybe respond back to a text, but it's always out of eyesight, so he's always holding the phone kind of like this, so that there's absolutely no way that you can see the screen, that to me is a little shady and usually an indicator that there could be something else going on. Another red flag is if you make plans to hang out at a certain time and there's always something that comes up. I mean, this one seems like common sense, but still it is good to kind of be reminded. If you are constantly getting canceled on, if he makes plans and at the last minute he cancels, okay, once or twice things happen, but if it seems to be a pattern, then there's definitely something to be concerned about. especially as women, you take the time to get ready, get dressed, do your hair, do your makeup, you're ready to go. If someone doesn't have the courtesy to at least let you know a few hours early that they're going to have to change plans, then that's not only a red flag, that's also just in general inconsiderate. Like I said, unless it is something really important that came up. But a lot of times you can kind of sense when something's important and kind of when someone might be making excuses. Another thing is when it comes to dating or going on a date, if there's always a certain time that they want to hang out. So if it's always a nighttime date or always a daytime date, there's never any flexibility with the schedule. Like ever, not even on weekends. There's always a rigid routine that they say that they have. That's a red flag. Not only does it mean that maybe there could be something going on, but once again, that flexibility, just trying to prioritize you, might be a challenge for them, and that's not something that you really want to deal with long term. But a lot of times, if you make a suggestion, if you say, okay, I know we usually go out on Friday nights, but what about if we do something Saturday during the daytime? There should be some flexibility in there. It shouldn't be always, no, I can only hang out Friday night from this time to this time. That's something to look out for. If there's no flexibility in their schedule, it's very rigid. It seems almost shady sometimes if you don't even know really what they're doing during those times. I would definitely say that that's a red flag. I would also say if you never meet any family or friends of the person you're dating, that is also a red flag. Now, sometimes it does take a lot of time before somebody does feel comfortable and secure enough to bring you around their family or friends. But if, you've taken this person to meet your family, your friends, a couple people here and there, and you haven't met anybody from their side, I would say that is something to look out for. And the way that you can phrase it is, not necessarily that you're being pushy, but you tell them, hey, I really see a future here, but I kind of want to make sure that, I get along with your friends and family, you get along with my friends and family. It's important that I know the people in your life, meet the people in your life, and vice versa. That's just a nice way of phrasing things, but it's also putting the ball in their court and seeing where they go from there. If it's constantly an excuse or constantly a reason why you can't meet someone, that's a red flag, and that's definitely pretty shady in my opinion. Also, something that's important is how well does the person listen when you're talking? Now, once again, this seems like common sense, but a lot of times if you find that you're telling the person that you're seeing something really important, you tell them that you have an event or an activity or something coming up and they never remember, that could be a red flag. But also, I don't have the best memory of things. I do forget things that could, potentially be important. So I wouldn't say necessarily that's a major red flag, but you have to look at it in the context of the relationship as a whole. Just once again, do they prioritize you? Do you talk and see each other consistently? Or does it kind of seem like you're not really a priority and not important to them? I would also say another red flag, I have just a bunch of things running through my head here. If you can never leave anything at the person's place that you're seeing. So if every time you leave, maybe you're staying there, you're hanging out, every time you leave, they want to quickly bring anything that you may have left, like, oh, you forgot your hairbrush, you forgot your slippers, whatever it is, if they always want to make sure that you take everything with you when you leave, sometimes that can be a red flag. Now, I know there are some people that are just very particular about their house and the way that they like things, but if you come right out and ask, is it okay if I leave something here so that when I come here, I can be comfortable, I don't have to bring so many things with me? Can I leave my slippers here? Can I leave my t-shirt here? Can I leave something here? If they kind of look really uncomfortable about it, that's your answer. They might be like, oh, sure, put it down there in the drawer in the corner in the back so that no one sees it. If they're a little more open to it, like, okay, yeah, that's fine, no problem, then you know that maybe they're trying to compromise. Maybe they're not used to having somebody else in their space, but they're making an effort because it's important and they want you to feel comfortable. So these are just a couple of red flags, things to look out for. Now, everyone's relationship is different. I'm sure that there's, reasons why everybody does everything. But the main thing I want to tell you guys is just for the women in particular, trust your women's intuition. You know when something's off. A lot of times you are right, believe me. And don't let him or friends or anything you're reading kind of talk you out of it. If you feel something's off, say it, bring it to the person's attention. If you don't like the response, don't be afraid to walk away. And I know as women, a lot of times it's like, but I didn't get the proof. I don't know 100% for sure if I made the right decision. If it's not the right decision, he'll come around, he'll do whatever he needs to do to make you feel comfortable. He'll be more transparent with you. You'll feel that ease come over, like, okay, I don't feel as tense. I don't feel as nervous. I feel calm. I feel relaxed. That intuition has kind of subsided. So I would definitely say, just keep some of these things in mind, follow up, ask questions, keep your eyes open, be alert, and trust your gut. All right. If any of these things have helped you, or if you have any other pointers, leave a comment below. And I'll talk to you soon. Take care.